What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a pretty spicy team here for the Great League Remix Cup. That is going to be Alolan, Raichu, Mandibuzz, and Shadow Pidgeot, submitted to the channel by Hector Twin, so shout out to this battler. This team looks spicy. Alolan Raichu used to be kind of meta a long time ago. I'm talking back during like season 1, 2, and 3. That's when Alolan Raichu really had some power potentially in the meta, and it's been non-existent ever since. But we get to see what it's capable of today. Obviously, Mandibuzz, incredibly powerful in both Open Great League and the Remix Cup, and then a Shadow Pidgeot. Well, there's going to be booms to be had in this video. So, shout out to Hector Twin. Thank you for sharing these battles with us, and let's go and get right into it. All right, getting into the first battle, we have Raichu on the lead versus Shadow Gligar. So this is a pretty interesting matchup. They're going to go ahead and swap out right away into Pidgeot, which is a tough matchup as well because Pidgeot is very glassy. If you're looking flyer to flyer right here, Shadow Gligar is actually the bulkier Pokemon, as Pidgeot is not going to be able to hang on just long enough. Actually, it will be able to get to a Brave Red. I didn't see the energy in the bottom right, but it will be able to get to it just in time before the Aerial Ace comes through from the Mantine, and obviously Mantine gonna respect the boom and decides to shield, and they did it on charge attack priority as well. Smart play there from Hector, which forces the opponent to throw energy, which is really good for him so they can't farm down. Now Raichu is gonna get a very healthy farm down right here with Volt Switch, as it is doing super effective damage against that water flying typing, obviously respecting the potential water pulse. Alolan Raichu is glassy, everyone. It's extremely glassy, so they're going to be able to farm down. We will see a swap out right away into Mandibuzz, and in comes a Ferrothorn, which is pretty interesting, as Aerial Ace and Dark Pulse are going to be doing neutral damage. Mandibuzz, though, still in a good position to potentially win this game, but it's ultimately going to come down to, does this Ferrothorn have Thunder? And they decide actually to swap out now into the Gligar, as an Aerial Ace is going to be thrown. This is a great opportunity here for potential bait in terms of energy cost, but the Gligar doesn't fall for it, so unfortunately not able to land the harder hitting move of Dark Pulse, as they decide to no shield this Aerial Ace here from the Shadow Gligar. Now Mandibuzz, like I mentioned earlier, is top meta right now in this season, and it is for good reason. It's extremely tanky and has great matchups in this meta, as an Aerial Ace is just not enough to take it down. And now Mandibuzz is in a great position where if the Gligar lets this go, they might be able to farm down with Snarl or just get the complete knockout. They will be able to farm down, but they farm down with Alolan Raichu instead, and Raichu now is off to the races, loaded on energy and ready to unleash, well, resisted damage right here, but it's gonna add up, okay? The Ferrothorn is looking to throw the power up, as Alolan Raichu will respect it and shield. And there is a lot of damage to be had on this Alolan Raichu. As you guys saw, it is resisted, but it's gonna be enough. It doesn't matter. This is the Great League in Pokemon Go, where even resisted damage might just get you the win, as the next Power Whip is gonna be coming through here from the Ferrothorn, but will it be enough to knock out? Boom! Yes, it is. Mandibuzz. Oh, double Aerial Ace. Can it win the game? Oh, I don't think it gets there in time. I think the Power Whip is ready to go, but will Power Whip actually be enough damage? No, it wasn't. Aerial Ace is now able to be thrown for the second charge move, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played, as Mandibuzz is going to be able to clutch it up right there. Close one. All right, moving to the next battle, we have Raichu on the lead versus Jellicent. Okay, this is a really good lead right here for them. They have two great answers, and we do see a swap into Steelix, so Mandibuzz is going to go ahead and come into this matchup. Now, Steelix, you know, you might be looking, oh, it's Flyer into Steel. Well, you got to remember, Mandibuzz has Snarl and Dark Pulse, and that's a lot of neutral damage. And if this Steelix is in fact running Crunch and Psychic Fangs, this is a good matchup. The only matchup that would really be beneficial for Steelix is if it had Breaking Swipe. But if it has Earthquake, if it has Psychic Fangs, if it has Crunch, it's not going to be having a good time. I believe it also does have Iron Head as the charge move, but they don't run that. As Psychic Fangs, yeah, it's Psychic Fangs Crunch, which means Mandibuzz is going to be handling this mid-game matchup pretty well and could potentially come out of here with energy for the Jellicent, as a double shield is able to get oh man, I'm gonna blur that out at the top. All right, we're gonna see a Crunch land and take out Mandibuzz. And then Raichu's going to go ahead and come in and look to go for Trailblaze right there, as this is going to be doing some good neutral damage, but unfortunately for the Alolan Raichu, it's not going to be enough to KO, and Steelix is definitely in a position where it can put down the Pain Train, but Pidgeot with 2-0 shields could boom this whole team as they decide to counter swap now into that Pidgeot, and in comes the Jellicent, going to be able to resist the Hex fast moves right there because of the normal typing, and they're risking it. It could be an Ice Beam. No, it is going to be the Surf, able to hang on as they overload on energy. They have to go for a Brave Bird here. Hopefully this is enough damage to one-shot. Steelix coming in as well. Might just be able to one-tap with the fast moves. Brave Bird, boom, takes it out. In comes the, I think it's going to be Steelix trying to get the cheeky fast moves. Let's see. It is going to be the Steelix, and oh, it was going to be 2 fast moves right there. I think would have been enough, as Aerial Ace is going to be thrown here from the Pidgeot. That's enough to knock out. Final Pokemon is going to be a Dunsparce, and they're going to be able to... Ooh, they pull the trigger a bit early. I think they could have made it to the Brave Bird in time, but Aerial Ace will be thrown. They're going to swap into the Raichu now, which has 2 shields, and that is going to be a surrender from the opponent. Good game. Alright, moving into the next one, we have Raichu on the lead versus Girafarig right here. Shadow Girafarig, as we will see an interesting matchup. This is usually something you might see on day 1 of Go Battling, but this is in the 2,800 ELO range, as Spice on Spice is facing off here on the lead, as a Thunder Punch will be thrown and shielded by the Shadow Girafarig, and Alolan Raichu is going to respect the charge move here, as well as it will be a Trailblaze stopping that hard-hitting neutral damage. They will swap out now into Mandibuzz to get ahead on energy, but Shadow Girafarig, okay, decides to swap out, and an Armatisi? What the heck is this doing in the Great League? It's got Charm, I guess. Sure. We're gonna see the Charm down. This is not what I was expecting. If you see a Charmer, it's usually the Shadow Alolan Ninetales, right? But the Armatisse is pretty spicy. But it's getting hit for a lot of neutral damage with the Aerial Ace right here, so at least they're softening it up, but Mandibuzz is going to go down ultimately to the Charm Fast move, and the question is, what charge move does this thing have? I don't even know. Alright, we're going to find out. The Spice is real right here. Obviously, any charge move would be enough to probably knock out the Alolan Raichu, so they're going to respect it and shield, and it is going to be a Thunderbolt. And now we will see the Volt Switch swap, actually a swap out into Pidgeot to get the farm down, saving energy on Alolan Raichu. And now we see a Mantine come in. So this is a pretty tough position to be in for the Pidgeot, because Mantine, even with Aerial Ace right here, is going to easily knock out the Pidgeot with the added wing attack damage if they safely shield. But Aerial Ace here are going for the Brave Bird actually, but Girafarig swaps in. That's a beautiful catch by the opponent, as this is going to be thrown and no shielded. And now we get to see them get to the Brave Bird in time. Talk about putting your opponent between a rock and a sparky place, as a Brave Bird is going to land. Boom! That one-shots them. Had they shielded that, obviously Thunder Punch from Alolan Raichu. Good game. Alright, we're going to be moving into the next one. It is going to be... Let's find out. It's going to be Raichu on the lead versus Carbink. Oof. This is going to be a tough one. Carbink, obviously, gonna run through this whole team. Not gonna lie, the bulk that it has is gonna be tough to deal with, but ultimately Trailblaze right here is gonna be the call. Hopefully Alolan Raichu is able to put in enough damage where this Carbink can be eliminated from the field, as it's going to be boosting Alolan Raichu's attack, making Volt Switch hit harder, making Trailblaze hit harder, and they're going to be forced to shield, and the opponent is deciding to stay in. So this is a good situation for Alolan Raichu, as they can easily now go for Thunder Punches here, where the next one should be enough damage to knock out, and they might just get a shield, and they do. Perfect. So now they can go for the second one right here, and this is what you want. If you have Alolan Raichu versus a Carbink on a lead with a double flyer backline, you want to be throwing these Thunder Punches to do as much damage. They get rid of Carbink. It's out of the game. Next Pokemon is going to be Sableye. So we do see the Pidgeot swap in and a Ferrothorn, and that is going to be a good game. Able to get rid of Carbink, and now they can secure the win with Mandibuzz. You can see on Hector's swirls, he is excited as Brave Bird here. Boom! Nearly one-shots the Ferrothorn. They're going to let this go. Let Mandibuzz do its thing. Boom! Right back. Mandibuzz comes in, and that's a good game. Able to snarl down. The opponent knows it. They surrender. Good battle. All right. Oh, wow. We got a temperature. Wow, the spice is too real. All right. It's a good addition for the video. All right, moving to the next battle. We have Raichu on the lead versus Magnezone here. Similar to the Carbink lead, the Magnezone... Oh, we got Go Battle lag as well. Okay, looks like they're still even on energy. Go Battle lag is eternal. Oh, this is so annoying. Okay, they do get to the Thunder Punch, though, but hopefully they didn't lose any fast moves there. I think they got them all. Turning off the Wi-Fi as well. Good call. And then a charge move now coming through from Magnezone. They're going to have to respect it and shield themselves, as it is going to be the Mirror Shot. And this is kind of the tough situation to be in, where Magnezone does have double charge moves ready to go, but they got to get rid of it, and they need to get rid of it quickly, as a Wild Charge will be thrown, and the opponent swaps out into Tropius, so we will see the Pidgeot now come into this matchup. They can easily go for Aerial Ace in this situation. No need to go for Brave Bird, right? Because it's going to just do so much super effective damage. You might just be able to get the farm down with Wing Attack, as, yeah, you're definitely getting the farm down right here. Even though Tropius gets to an Aerial Ace, this isn't going to do anything to Pidgeot. I mean, it will, but, you know, it's not going to be able to knock it out. Now, Pidgeot has some energy, one shield remaining from the opponent, but will one Volt Switch take it out? That is the question, because we might be able to see 3 Wing Attacks come through. 1, 2. Oh, they only needed 2 right there. That is perfect. Brave Bird now going to do the damage that they need in order to one-shot the Magnezone, and they don't respect it. They get it extremely low. And now Magnezone has some energy. Alolan Raichu comes in, but the final Pokemon is going to be a Shadow. Alolan Ninetales with... with Powder Snow, maybe. Thunder Punch now coming through. They decide to shield. Was it Charm or Powder Snow? It was Powder Snow. Alright, this is going to be an extremely close game. Remember, the Magnezone has energy in the back with a little bit of health. So Alolan Raichu, in order to win this game, is going to have double charge moves ready to go, as an Aerial Ace will be thrown here into the Shadow Alolan Ninetales. Now, because it's not Charm, the Mandibuzz is able to hang on. The Powder Snows and Weather Balls are just not enough to basically get rid of the Mandibuzz without having to give up resources, right? So they're going to be forced to potentially... yeah, they will be forced to throw right here. And this is what's so cool about the Mandibuzz versus the Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales, is the Charmer can just straight charm down, but Alolan Raichu now comes in and throws the Thunder Punch right away, knowing that the Alolan Ninetales had energy. They need to get rid of it, and now they're going to be racing the Magnezone here. 1 Volt Switch is enough, and Raichu is able to take it. All right, moving into the next battle. Let's see what we got. We have Raichu on the lead versus Mantine. Well, you'll love to see this. Talk about a lead right here. The opponent's going to be forced to swap out, and let's see what they bring in. It is going to be the Ferrothorn, so Mandibuzz is going to go ahead and come in and lock it down. Mandibuzz doesn't necessarily have to give up a shield as well versus the Thunder. This is just not going to be enough to one-shot, and they want to force, yeah. Look at that. You can easily survive 1, if not 2, but the second one is all going to be dependent on how much Bullet Seed damage is going to be landing, but Dark Pulse here is going to do a good job of doing neutral damage in this matchup. Now, this is where Ferrothorn can get a bit cheeky and go for a bait, but Mandibuzz is not going to fall for it. Okay with letting the second Thunder land. As you can see, Mandibuzz is able to survive, and now this is the time to throw Aerial Aces here, as the opponent might be wanting to give up a shield in this situation, and even if it does land, which it doesn't, it gets shielded, it's going to do a lot of neutral damage. But Mandibuzz now, unfortunately, I think is going to be going down to the fast moves here of Bullet Seed, but we see a counter swap into Pidgeot to go for the aggressive farm down, and they're going to be forced to give up a shield, saving Mandibuzz, losing switch advantage as well. But if Mantine comes into this matchup, which it does, it's going to be met with a Brave Bird, and now it's all going to come down to, can Alolan Raichu beat what Pokemon number 3 is in the back? Because obviously there's an opportunity here to fully, boom! Nearly one shot, I should say. I was going to say there's an opportunity to farm down with Volt Switch, but the opponent decided to no shield and go for Ice Beam. And the final Pokemon is Annihilape, and Pidgeot now is going to be going for the Aerial Ace here, getting the final shield of this game. Switch Clock is coming back up. The charge move is going to be, oh, they do get the full farm down. This is dangerous here. They're going to have to catch on Mandibuzz. A Shadow Ball will one-shot. Let's see. Oh, the Peekaboo! The Peekaboo catch! But was it on Shadow Ball or was this just Night Slash? It was on Shadow Ball. Boom! What a beautiful catch there. Alolan Raichu is in a perfect position to win this game, and the counter swap to catch it doesn't work. The opponent surrenders, and Hector just pulled off the Peekaboo of this video. Good game. All right. Moving into the next one. We have Raichu versus Mandibuzz. Okay, good lead right here, but still tough, right? We got Snarl and Dark Pulse as the moveset, and the Mandibuzz is looking to stay in. They know that the damage, like a Dark Pulse, is basically gonna one-shot, so Raichu has to be very careful here. But thankfully, Thunder Punch doesn't apply any debuffs, but it will get shields as they counter swap into their own Mandibuzz to get ahead on energy, and in comes an Ampharos. So just swapping up the matchups right here, as we will see an Electric Volt Switch and probably Thunder Punch. Ampharos come in as a Dark Pulse will land for a lot of neutral damage. But Mandibuzz is in a position of a 2-to-1 shield advantage. That's the difference between the lead matchup and this mid-game matchup, as Dark Pulse is going to be forcing the final shield. The opponent is out of shields, and there's a Brave Bird Shadow Pidgeot in the back. Talk about booms to be had, as a Thunder Punch will land, but it's not enough to knock out the Ampharos here is going to be forced to throw the second one right away. Now, we will see Alolan Raichu come in. We're going to see them probably go for a Thunder Punch to get rid of... Oh, okay, yeah. Going for the Thunder Punch here. Able to win Charge Attack priority as well, which is perfect, as this is going to do just enough damage to knock out. And then we will see what Pokemon number 3 is. Oh, they come in with Mandibuzz. They must be extremely weak in the back to Raichu, or they're just trying to go for the Dark Pulse and dip out so they have a better... Okay, yeah, they're staying in. Another Dark Pulse is going to be coming through. Bit delayed right there. I feel like the... Okay. Or whatever. Dark Pulse is going to be shielded. And the final Pokemon is going to be Annihilape, and Pidgeot is going to be coming in to lock this one down, as they can easily go for the Aerial Ace here for super effective damage. Annihilape, unless it has Ice Punch, is not... No. Boom! See ya. Get out of here. Mandibuzz now is going to be forced to throw a Dark Pulse, but the Pidgeot is going to desperately try to get to a Brave Bird in time. This Mandibuzz, though, the Dark Pulse, No, it's not enough. Brave Bird is going to be able to land. The opponent says, I don't want to get boomed today. But Pidgeot is going to be taking the win, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right. Moving into the next one. We have... Let's find out. We got Raichu versus another Carbink. Oh no. This is obviously going to be a tough one. We saw this play out in a previous battle. They were able to go for one Trailblaze first and then Thunder Punches the whole way around, but a Shadow Victory Bell swaps in, and Alolan Raichu lost a lot of health there from Razor Leaf. And unfortunately, the Pidgeot was not able to throw the Aerial Ace in time, so they're going to be hit with a Leaf Blade right here. Not enough to knock out, but if the... I don't think the Victory Bell is going to be shielding. Let me just guess that. Yeah, they just let it go. All right. So likely another Razor Leaf user in the back, but Carbink here is in a much better situation than the previous battle that we saw. and that's due to the fast move damage that was done to this Raichu, because now rock throws are going to be enough to knock out if the Carbink just starts fast moving down, right? They don't even necessarily have to give up a shield, because Trailblaze is just not enough damage. Raichu's going to have to throw 2 if not 3 charge moves in order to knock it out, but Carbink is going to shield regardless. We do see another swap, and Raichu loses so much health on those fast moves. This game could have been won if it wasn't from the raw damage of Razor Leaf, because you had double flyers into double grass, but unfortunately that's what Razor Leaf does. When it gets swapped in, boom, it just absolutely decimates, and this Carbink now is sitting in such a good position where Mandibuzz can do nothing against it. Dark Pulse is resisted, Aerial Ace is resisted, and then Raichu is one fast move away from going down. So unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the trail here for Hector, as Mandibuzz is going to meet its maker with a Carbink lead and a double Shadow Razor Leaf backline, as Aerial Ace is going to be thrown, but ultimately that is going to be a good game. They swap into Raichu, but yeah, it is all over, and that is going to be a good battle. All right. Was that the final one? That was the final battle. Spicy team, right? We know Mandibuzz is good, but seeing Alolan Raichu kind of put in work against a lot of these teams, especially that are running Mantine, maybe the Jellicent there, some of the flyers like Mandibuzz, like we saw, some neutral damage there potentially against the Gligar. It did pretty well. Pidgeot as well, obviously, hit like a truck. It landed a lot of free Brave Birds, and Mandibuzz worked well as a great anchor. But obviously, Carbink can be very troublesome for this team. But, you know, you live and die by what you face in Go Battle League, and sometimes it's just about having fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.